Shalom Saba.
Most people don't know the exact point at which they transitioned from child to adult. But my father did. He knew. He became an adult at age 12 in one night, between the 18th and the 19th of March 1944. At 6 in the morning, Dad was still a child. He slept in a large bed alongside his father, my grandfather, under the big blanket. And my grandfather was a fat man, and his warm breath were a sane, soothing metronome in a world which had gone mad. At exactly 6 o'clock in the morning, Dad heard his grandma, Hermina. She said, "Ja, bitte, bitte," to someone in German. And then the bedroom door opened, and Bela, she said to my grandfather, "There's a German soldier at the door who wants to see you." The soldier didn't wait. He followed her into the bedroom holding a rifle in a greenish gray uniform which has the letters SS in the corner of his collar. And remarkably kind, he said, "Dr. Lampel, please get dressed." And my grandfather rose and get dressed. The bag, he told his mother, my great-grandmother, and she left and returned with the bag. There was no need to pack. Since the start of the war, every Jew in Europe had the bag ready to go. My great-grandmother took a step or two towards the blonde soldier with his bayonet, and when she got really close to him, she grabbed the headrest and slowly, as old people do, got down on her knees. And the German soldier was silent, and she hugged his knees, clinging to his polished boots. And she lifted her head, searching out his blue eyes, and she said, "Sir, don't forget you have a mother too, waiting for you at home." And then she added, "God bless you." The German's face contoured for a moment, and then he nodded his head at my grandfather, "It's time." And my grandfather bent down and lifted the blanket off my dad, and Dad cried. And he hugged my dad and said the words which in one night turned my father into a grown man. "My child," he said, "either I see you again alive or not." And he never saw him again. My grandfather was sent to Auschwitz, and after that he was sent here to Mauthausen. When he arrived here, he was no longer a dad, he was no longer fat, he was no longer a person, he was a number. The Nazis went to great length to number the prisoners. My grandfather, like everyone who came to Auschwitz, had also a number tattooed on his arm. The archives were organized, tens of thousands of notebooks with careful documentation of prisoners. They did this because it allowed them to tell themselves, this isn't murder, it's statistics. That they weren't killing people who did them no harm, but rather deleting numbers from a notebook. I came here today to remind the world that Bela Lampel was not a number. He was my grandfather. He loved his beautiful wife. He went to football matches with his child. He loved to have an omelette at the coffee stop next to his home. He never wronged anyone. He wasn't an important man. He didn't hate anyone. He was simply Jewish. So they took him in the middle of the night and sent him from camp to camp until he arrived here. And when he arrived here, the Nazis already knew that they had lost the war. The mighty machine that was the German army had collapsed already. They needed every soldier, every slice of bread, every rifle, and yet they continued to kill Jews up until the very last moment. According to the records Baba showed me here in Mauthausen, my grandfather died in April 1945. A month later, on the 9th of May, Nazi Germany surrendered. That was the last significant thing the Nazis did, killing my grandfather. But dying was not the last significant thing that he did, because my grandfather did one other thing, even if he did it after his death. He sent me here today. Grandpa Bela, a quiet man whose family nickname was Smart Bela or Bela the Wise, sent me here today to say on his behalf that the Jews have not surrendered. They've established a strong, free, and proud Jewish state. And they sent his grandson to represent him here today. The Nazis thought they were the future and the Jews would be something you only find in a museum. Instead, the Jewish state is the future, and Mauthausen is a museum. Rest in peace, grandfather. You won.